no matter the location. From O-A-K-L-A to L-V, I'm a Raider.
Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that big red button. What are we going to be talking about on today's episode? The latest news and rumors around your Las Vegas Raiders. We're going to talk about Derek Carr. We're going to talk about Marcus Mariota, Richard Sherman, Patrick Peterson, and Melvin Ingram. So we got a jam-packed show, so let's get on into it. The Raiders, they will not trade Derek Carr. I know I've seen a lot of different reports out there, especially one from Albert Beer, which we're about to get into. A lot of y'all are going to say, Mitch, this should be 4 Chucky heads. I am still going to hold it to 3 Chucky heads, and I do think that it's pretty likely that they won't trade from Carr. And I'll say there's a 99% chance that DC is the QB for the Las Vegas Raiders in 2021. However, if you do not at least leave a 1% chance, I'm talking to Mike Mayock, I'm talking to John Gruden, you're not doing your job. Simple as that. You should always be looking to try to get better. So with that being said, though, the report out there right now is that Derek Carr isn't available via trade. Apparently, Albert Beer was talking to some people from the Raiders, and the Raiders made it very clear to them that, hey, we're not trying to move on from Derek. We're very happy with Derek and everything that he's been able to bring to this franchise. Originally, though, remember all the reports probably about a week, maybe 2 weeks ago, that multiple NFL teams were calling about DC? That was true. The issue was this. The Raiders were looking for 2 first-round picks for Derek Carr, and nobody was willing to give up 2 first-round picks. But with that being said, and be honest with me here, should the Raiders trade Derek Carr for 2 first-round picks? So I understand the reports out there, but this show is about conversation. If having a conversation on whether or not Derek Carr gets traded or not makes you frustrated, I think that's a you problem. I'm just here to have a little bit of fun conversation. So give me a Y for yes, or I want you to type N for no. My answer is yes. You do trade Derek Carr for 2 first-round picks, but only and only if you can get Deshaun Watson. If you trade Derek Carr for 2 first-round picks and then you don't have another plan at quarterback, you better not roll with Nathan Peterman. I can promise you that. And if you're going to go in the draft, at pick number 17, there's not really many quarterbacks that I'm that excited about. Would I get excited about 2 first-round picks? Sure. But if you don't use those 2 first-round picks to go out and get somebody like a Deshaun Watson, I think it's a dumb move ultimately. So that's also why I wanted to be able to bring up this whole trade rumor thing. I know it's literally everywhere all over the internet, but our job here is to keep you guys up to date on the latest Raiders news, rumors, and even the latest NFL news and rumors. So we like to think of ourselves here at the Raiders Report as your one-stop shop for everything Raiders. If you want news and rumors, you're in the right place. If you want free agency updates, we got you covered. If breaking news happens, like Derek Carr is traded, we're going to be going live. We're going to be making videos here, so make sure you don't miss it. Hit the big red button that says subscribe and turn on those notifications. If you have no idea what notifications are, you might be your parents. Those are my favorite commercials right now going on. When I tell my dad to open up a PDF, he shits his pants and just dies. He doesn't know what to do. So this is what I want you all to do. Turn on your YouTube notifications. Go to the settings app. Scroll on down, tap YouTube, tap notifications, and then turn on allow notifications. You do that, I promise you, you guys won't miss a video. Let's get into the next story here. Okay, so the Raiders not going to trade Derek Carr. How about this? Are they trying to trade Marcus Mariota? This one, it's 4 Chucky heads. Believe it, baby. The Raiders are absolutely trying to move on from the former Heisman, from the former Oregon Duck. Was he fun for a few games in the offense? Yes, absolutely. But there's been multiple reports out there that the Raiders are listening to all offers for Mariota. Albert Breer, in the same article that he talked about Derek Carr, said that the Patriots could be interested. And here's the other thing. A lot of times where there's smoke, there's fire. There's been multiple different outlets that have reported that the New England Patriots could be the front runner or could be interested in Mariota. The other reason why I am 100% certain that the Raiders are trying to trade him is because you can save $11.35 million by moving on from him. Was he a fun experiment? Sure. But the Raiders didn't use him correctly. And also, he couldn't beat out Nathan Peterman for basically 14 weeks of the season. That's just way too much money to be able to pay somebody $11.35 million. Shit, invest that money into the defense. So type your votes here. Mariota will be fill in the blank. Type K for keep, right? Or no. Mariota will be kept, my mistake, can't read. Type T for traded, or type C for cut. What do you think ultimately happens to Marcus Mariota? Next story here, Mariota trade coming. So this is where we're hoping, right? If you're trying to trade somebody, you hope that a trade ultimately goes down. I see a lot of people watching this live right now. They're typing T. However, I am only going to give it one Chucky head. I do think it's a small shred of truth that Mariota is ultimately traded, and it's because of this. There's not going to be many NFL teams out there that are going to trade for him and then have to pay him $10.63 million in 2021. I would be shocked, right? And when you know a team is probably not going to keep a player, because that's what all the reports are right now, that the Raiders are going to move on from Mariota, why would an NFL team trade for him and then ultimately, when they could probably get him, on the free agent market? So I'm more of a believer that nobody's willing to trade for Mariota. If you can get literally just about anything, you end up doing it, because if you don't, you're just going to cut him, and then you get absolutely nothing. So I think the Raiders end up cutting him. It saves the Raiders $11.35 million. Now, maybe you're a new viewer here, right? I mean, we get new viewers all the time. We just crossed 73,000 subs. We've had over 2,000 subs this month alone. If you're seeing these Chucky heads and you're like, what the hell is this guy talking about? This is my Raiders rumor meter. So if you see something, a report, and it's 0 Chucky heads, it means I don't think it's true. It's never going to happen. If you see something 1 Chucky head, like the Marcus Mariota report, it means 25% chance of happening. 2 Chucky heads means it's 50-50. It's a coin flip. Sorry, Sam. 3 Chucky heads means it's pretty likely 75% chance of happening. 4 Chucky heads means I think it's 100% going to happen. 4 Chucky heads, believe it, baby. So let's go to this next story here. Richard Sherman. Yo, yeah, we're talking more about Richard Sherman here. You ready? Does he want to go to Las Vegas? Oh, I wanted to be able to give it 4 Chucky heads so bad. No, it's 2 Chucky heads. People are talking. But Richard Sherman's one of the smartest people, not just in the NFL. I mean, you go to Stanford, you graduate with a 4.0, you're one of the smartest people in the entire United States. And I'm a believer that he knows what he's saying every single time he opens his mouth. So how about this? You guys remember his whole interview last week with John Gruden? And, Gruden's like, hey, we're looking for an alpha. Richard Sherman and him were talking, and, there was maybe some tampering, I don't know, talking about, hey, talk to me after the show. He no doubt knows the Gus Bradley system very well. He's going to be a free agent in 2021. So does he want to go to Las Vegas? I tried to read some tea leaves here. I tried to read between the lines a little bit. So I'm about to show y'all a quote from Richard Sherman and what he said on Monday. So listen here. I only want to play 2 more seasons, okay? So first off, 2 more seasons. Derek Carr, 2 years left on his contract. I want to get on a competitive football team. Raiders are competitive. I still have a lot to give to the game. I think I still have a lot that I want to accomplish, and I think I can go out there and help a defense come together like it should and reach their potential. The Raiders defense, I'll tell you what, we talk about that all the time. Reach its potential, come together. Reach the heights that the defenses I've played on have reached. Okay, so what are some defenses that he's played on? What are some coaches that he's previously worked for or played with? Gus Bradley, 2011 to 2012. Dan Quinn, 2013 to 2014. Chris Richard, 2015 to 2017. Robert Salah, 2018 to 2020. So you take everything from his quote up there, wanting to be on a contender, wanting to play with the defense that he knows essentially, and being able to help a young team. So out of these 4 coaches here, this is where they're at now. You can make an argument if he wants to be a contender and everything that he said in that quote, you could make the argument that the Raiders give him the best chance. Dan Quinn with the Cowboys, sure, maybe he could make more money being there, but I also don't know. Chris Richard and the Saints, some people will say that's the best football team. If they don't have Drew Brees, they have Taysom Hill. I might respectfully disagree. I know it's not going to be the New York Jets, so I do think it could come down to Dallas, and I think it could be Las Vegas. And if you already know the system with Bradley, plus no taxes in Vegas, right? You could actually make a little bit more money. Give him a 2-year contract. Tell him to prove himself and make a young defense come together. Maybe I'm reading down a pipe dream, J.R. Smith style a little bit here, but hey, we can have a little bit of fun as well. So take a guess. Where will Richard Sherman end up playing in 2021? I want you to think about it. I want you to look into that crystal ball. Try to predict it. Where will Richard Sherman play in 2021? While you're looking in that crystal ball, can you tell me if I get lucky on Valentine's Day? I'm hoping I will. I'm going to go to chatsports.com/flowers where I can save 15% off on all flowers, on all gifts, so there's no doubt about that. If for some reason you can't remember chatsports.com/flowers, I'm going to put that link for y'all in the comments. It's also going to be in the description. Valentine's Day is coming up. Don't miss this chance to make sure that you're showing your loved ones that you care about them. If you have no idea what to get them, leave it to the professionals. Again, flowers, chocolates, macaroons, bath supplies. They got a charcuterie board. They have donuts covered in chocolate. I mean, these guys have literally everything. And we are hooking you up with a 15% off code, chatsports.com/flowers. If you do end up getting your loved one something special, tag me, put it on Instagram. I'd love to share it as well. Hit me up at Mitchell Renz 365. All right, let's go to my next story here. Patrick Peterson. Is he going to Las Vegas? Oh, I know a lot of y'all clicked on this video because I saw the thumbnail, right? You saw Patrick Peterson. He's going to be in silver and black. I'm going to give it only one Chucky head. I'm going to give it a small shred of truth. Would I think having Patrick Peterson on this defense would be entertaining? Yeah, you're damn right I would. So Jeremy Fowler of ESPN wrote an article about some top free agents out there, and he said that he thought that the Las Vegas Raiders were the best fit for Patrick Peterson in 2021. Obviously, there's already that report out there that he's likely to become a free agent, so you're looking at a 31-year-old player who plays cornerback, and if the Raiders need a veteran presence on defense, you could definitely get that with Peterson. So the issues here are this, like you either go out and get a guy like Sherman or a guy like Peterson. We'll get to that in a second. Before we do, here's a cool little quote that I found. It's maybe not a quote, but it's what Jeremy Fowler wrote in his article on Patrick Peterson. The Raiders need leadership in the secondary in the worst way. Peterson turns 31 in July and has made $94 million. So maybe team fit and contention will be most important to him. Also, watch for Tampa, where Peterson's former coaches Bruce Arians and Todd Bowles are coming off a Super Bowl appearance. So I do think the top two teams for Patrick Peterson are, in fact, the Las Vegas Raiders and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I might actually give advantage to Tampa Bay for the simple fact of not only, or his coaches there, he grew up in Florida. Like, he's not far from Tampa Bay in terms of location, if you will. He also played football at LSU, Louisiana. So he might go down in that direction. But here's the question. If you had to pick one to sign, we just talked about Patrick Peterson. We just talked about Richard Sherman. And if you're under the age of 18, maybe close your ears here because I'm going to make a dirty joke. Shout out to Sam for coming up with it. Before we got into today's show, either you're going to type PP for Patrick Peterson. I'm curious how many of these get blocked in YouTube. Or I want you to type ARS. So either you want that PP or you want that ARS. RS, Richard Sherman, or type PP for Patrick Sherman. You can only have one, apparently. So, sorry. If you want something else for Valentine's Day, you got to go to Pro Flowers. If you want PP or RS for Valentine's Day, you can only have one. Let me know in the comments section. Pick one to sign. But you know what? My man Damian Lillard, he's getting a little greedy. So he wants, please, go get Patrick Peterson. He tweeted this out today, and I saw it. I was like, okay, Damian, I see you working. If you want to come on the show, man, you let me know. He also said this, right? So he picked Patrick Peterson. There was a comment, I think it's Thick Diglett 88, draft season, says, nah, we need Sherman. And then he just replied or quote tweeted that said, both of them. Okay. You know what, Dame, I'm sure if there's one guy that can get both, maybe you don't want both. That sounds weird. So, Patrick Peterson, Richard Sherman, he wants both of them. If you guys want to hit me up on IG at any time to talk more Raiders with me, I am at Mitchell Renz 365. Plus, remember, if you want to get your T-shirts featured on the show, you can always just slide in my DMs at Mitchell Renz 365. If you're, I don't know, from all these different cities that Raider Nation spreads far as I'm losing my mind. I know there's a lot of Raiders groups out there, so shout out to Reno for sending me this one. If you guys want to be featured on the show, just let me know. All right, last thing we're going to talk about here is Melvin Ingram, okay? Is the Las Vegas Raiders the best fit for Melvin Ingram? So I put this one out there on Twitter, had mixed reviews on it. I do honestly believe that Melvin Ingram going to the Raiders, it is his best fit overall. Am I saying that it's 100% happening? No. Am I saying that it's even a 1 Chucky percent chance happening? No. I'm simply just saying if Melvin Ingram is looking for the best fit for him and in 2021, it's the Las Vegas Raiders. Also, who agrees with me? Jeremy Fowler put it in his article and listed Ingram as the top fit, right, for Vegas here. So, obviously, Ingram knows the Gus Bradley system well. He's worked in it the past 3 years. He's been very successful. Raiders, they're in a desperate need to go out and to be able to find an effective pass rusher. 29 sacks last year, that just ain't going to cut it. So, if you can go out and add Melvin Ingram, it is at least something to entertain. Now, here's what Fowler had to say on Melvin Ingram's best fit being the Raiders. Ingram played 4 seasons for new Raiders coordinator Gus Bradley, racking up 24.5 sacks from 2017 to 2019 before injuries and a mini holdout derailed his 2020 season. Cleveland Ferrell hasn't proved a consistent pass rusher yet, so while he works that out in year 3, give Ingram a big 1-year payout to win on third downs. I like this idea a lot. So, should the Raiders sign Melvin Ingram type S for sign type P for pass? Remember how effective Benson Mayock was? You could kind of get that type of production, maybe 8, 9, 10 sacks out of a guy like Melvin Ingram, but he has to stay healthy. That's the biggest concern. If he's guaranteeing me 13, 14 games, I'll end up making the deal. If he can't guarantee me that, I'd probably say no. So S for sign, P for pass. What should the Raiders do with Melvin Ingram?